All right, hello, my lovelies. Yes, yes, SCPs indeed. Nuriakia. Hi, hello. Oh my, what a big wall of text. Hold on. A new scientist has joined the SCP Foundation. She seems really competent for the job, has purple hair and an amazing hat. The hat gives out witchery vibes. Wait a second. Did the witch break containment again? Dr. Kuro, come here. Shenanigans continue to happen in the nearby facilities for a while. Lovely. Lovely. Speaking of purple hair, you might have noticed I changed my hair a little bit. Okay, I changed a little bit more than that, but yeah. So yeah, sorry if I was a teeny bit late today. I am on a new setup, so it took me a second to, get everything started. But I am here. Is the music okay? Is it too loud? Because again, as I said, this is a new setup for me, so things are completely different. I'm actually on my standing desk. It looks to sound okay. Alright. My music just stopped. The model looks very different. I did a lot of changes on it, so yeah, good eye. Anyway, so today we have a couple SCPs. I'm excited. So I just went and looked for like the funniest SCPs. And I basically went on Reddit and looked for it. And yeah, we're gonna see. I got a couple. I don't know if we'll read them all. Maybe we'll be able to. Let's see. So, we have SCP 4390. He's a level 2. Containment class Euclid. Disruption class VLAM. I don't know my disruption classes, I'll be honest with y'all. Risk class Notice. Special containment procedures. Access to the location containing the entrance to SCP-4390 is to be guarded at all times. Individuals attempting to access the area ought to be arrested by Foundation agents embedded in local authorities and demanded to the local law enforcement system. Which is the greatest wonder of them all. Oh, yeah. Access to SCP-4390 is restricted to exploration teams with permission from Site-94 Research Authority. These exploration attempts are to be handled in conjunction with representatives from the not Dr. Wondertainment group of interest. I love Dr. Wondertainment stuff. Oh, you're gonna see it is amazing. Alright, description. 4390 is an extra-spatial area beneath the Giordano's Italian Eatery on the west side of Atlanta, Georgia, USA. The singular access point to SCP-4390 is located in the restaurant's basement, currently disguised as a non-functional walk-in refrigerator. The space beyond the entrance to SCP-4390 is a massive, cavernous area containing a large, constantly shifting labyrinth built out of stone. Ooh. The walls of the labyrinth appear to extend up to at least 20 meters, but attempting to scale the walls or ascending vertically will result in the subject beginning to shrink exponentially until they are too small to ascend any higher. Descending will reverse this effect. Okay, so if you climb it, you get tiny? That's interesting. What happens if, like, you don't unscale it? Like, what if, like, someone picks you up, do you stay that size? Like, if you stayed at the same altitude, you know? I have so many questions. So many questions. The entirety of 4390 is overrun with thick vegetation, little of which appears to bear any resemblance to anything found on Earth. Additionally, several species of small reptilians and flying creatures, as well as larger, seemingly mammalian entities, live in and around the labyrinth. Though these creatures do not resemble anything found on Earth. I've been in a very unhinged Smasher Pass Pokemon stream. There may be lots of unhinged from me. Oh hell yeah. This is what I'm talking about. I remember when Smasher Pass were like super popular, I did a video of like Magic the Gathering Smasher Pass. It counted to Spidlord Kuro. And yeah, it got like no views. It was kind of sad. You saw that? Of course you did. The majority of these creatures are not outwardly hostile, though several species have been shown to have territorial behaviors that can display as hostility towards intruders. Oh, hi Night Crusader! SCP-4390 appears to have been designed as a massive game. The labyrinth contains several intelligent entities alongside the plants and animals, many of whom appear to exist within the structure to create a unique challenges for travelers. Contact with these entities is typically uneventful, but occasionally these entities will offer travelers an opportunity for a wager. Individuals capable of wagering anything that could be considered theirs. Ouch! I shouldn't lift my arm too much. In exchange for some anomalous object or characteristic of equal value offered by the intelligent entity in question. While possessions that are lost or gained in this transaction persist outside of 4390, characteristic or bodily functions that are lost or gained within 4390 are restored once the individual leaves through the access point. Hospital Wi-Fi 6. Why are you in the hospital, Night Crusade? What have you done? You went Daredevil, did ya? Got hit by a reckless driver. Okay, so this one isn't on you. Either way, I wish you a speedy recovery, and I hope you don't spend too much time in the hospital, because hospitals suck. Individuals who die within 4390 are turned into spectral apparitions that can follow the other individuals of their party. These phantoms can interact with some aspect of 4390 and can pass through walls, but cannot themselves be used to solve puzzles or answer riddles. Once the Phantom's party reaches the end of the labyrinth or are killed, all members of the party will reappear at the beginning of the labyrinth, with phantoms restored to their physical forms. However, if the party does not clear the labyrinth and all individuals perish upon materializing at the labyrinth's entrance, they will be without any of their personal possessions, including their clothes. They want to keep me because I hit my... Oh yeah, classic. Yeah, like the moment your head hits something, they need to do CT scans and everything. Just give me a little second, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, all good. I just needed to, like, shift my walking pad a little bit. Because yes, you do not see it, but those legs, they are walking, they are moving. I don't know how long I'll do it, but So yeah, so it's a game labyrinth. If you die, you become a ghost. Like you can do a spectator mode, like those online games. If everyone dies, you appear to the beginning without anything, not even your clothes. And if one person of the party wins, everybody reappears and everything is well. 4390's existence was made known to the Foundation after the staff at Site-94 were contacted by an agent representing the Dr. Wondertainment group of interest. A full transcript of the initial interview with this individual is available in Addendum 4390.1. Interview with GOI agent. I want KFC, but I'm not allowed to leave. Order it. Make the delivery at the hospital. They will not be amused, but I will be. Please don't do that. But still, it would be funny. No! I am not responsible for any shenanigans or tomfoolery happening outside of this stream. Yes. Alright, internal audio recording transcript. Assistant Director Duncan. Red light is on, let's get started. I'll be quick, what is this name? Fitchingsley? Fitchingsley. That sounds violently British. I'll begin. Sorry, hang on. We need say your names first for the record. Oh, my bad. Assistant Director Duncan. No, it's fine. Just these protocols, you know. I'm Robert Duncan. Middle name too, sir. Sorry. Seriously? Christ. Alright, let's try again. I'm Robert Cartwright Duncan, Assistant Director of Research Site-94. I'm Alfred Allen Morris, Security Director at Site-94. Me next? Yeah. Alright, my name is Sebastian Juno Malthusan Hermano y Conquistadito Vanabulus Extraordinarion Frank Flitchingsley. How was I able to say this in one flippin' take? Wow. I'm the Dr. Wondertainment Marketing Director. Can you just, you can just write down the Flitchingsley part, I think. I'll try the new French fries tenders, Colonel Burger, and the cookie. The cookie is very important. Got it, alright. So let's actually get into this thing now. You said something about some sort of deal or what? Alright, let me just lay out here for you. My boss, Dr. Wondertainment, is just the most recent in a long line of Wondertainments, stretching back as far as history permits. In that history, we've been fortunate to maintain a pretty linear progression of authority. One Dr. Wondertainment hands the mantle off to their successor, and they become Dr. Wondertainment, and so on. Granted, there have been a handful of break-in there, but nothing wild. The word, God, what was the word? I can't if you look at the thingamabobs, the clips, I'm sure you'll find it. Sorry, I was taking a sip. Okay, that's neat, but that just sounds like exposition. Get used to that. The real problem is that there have been a fair number of bastard Wondertainments. People who either were promised the position of Dr. Wondertainment and had it pulled out from underneath them due to some shame or another, or the children of a Dr. Wondertainment with some mysterious passage. Begrudgingly! Yes, now I can say it without problems. That sort of thing. What you may not know is that recently, the last Doctor Who entertainment, Isabel, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Ooh. In her place, the previous Wondertainment, Bertrand, has taken over the daily operations of the company. This has caused a bit of a stir because the lineup until this point has been pretty straight. A few crooks here and there, but it has never gone backwards. That is problematic. I love the time skip. But by the way, you don't need to spend your points on the food thing I've already eaten. I've eaten some chimkin. I know, wild times, but what I'm getting at is, it was assumed that the Wondertainment who would succeed Isabel was her distant cousin, Yancy Di Petito Cortes Wondertainment. Due to the circumstances of Isabel's disappearance, the board determined that Bertrand would sit in her place until she could be located and return to her position as rightful head of the company. The intern asked me why I am on a stream to listen to someone reading. Well, they just don't know culture. Maybe they should subscribe too to see what the fuss is about, eh? And yes, I will take a sip. And that's like asking why people listen to podcasts or audiobooks. It's basically that. It's too French to collaborate. I will be right back. I just want to fix a little something. Nothing big, just 2 seconds. Alright, I'm back. I was just getting a bit warm, so I went to open the window. Alright, so we were at like the family line of Dr. Wondertainment or whatnot. Okay, I can see where this is going. Yes, dear boy, you certainly can. Old Yancy took this as a grave slight, no doubt having thought that he could stroll in and take the name of Dr. Wondertainment and carry on as normal, without a thought in the world for Isabel. He is offended that the board would prioritize Isabel's recovery over his own schemes, and has splintered away from the main brand and formed a knockoff. He's out there right now, calling himself Professor Amazementopia, causing all sorts of ruckus. Do you feel any headaches? Because it's not normal to watch that willingly. Ooh, ooh. Like I should feel slighted, but this is just violently French. This is a compelling story, I'll admit it, but it doesn't answer the question of why you showed up in my shower this morning, asking to meet about some life or death scenario we found ourselves in. Right, sorry about the shower again. I really was planning for the foyer, But the man has been a bit off ever since Isabel disappeared. You're both familiar with our very popular and well-loved board game, The Foundation, right? I believe you have a copy in your possession. Well, Yancy has decided to shack up under a pizza place near here to work on a competing game. He's calling it The Maze 2, the game, and is filling it up with all sorts of strange and unusual stuff he found on Safari somewhere. It's a real nasty scene. Violently French. That's too French Canadian to be rude. Hey, am I? What the? Ha. Ha. Well, that's an interesting development. Let me hello? I'm not the one who broke the thing. The thing broke itself. I should be back shortly. Shortly. Okay, so this is starting. Hey. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, I should just do that. There we go. I'm playing with the beep beep thing for the heart. I'm like breathing fast and hold my breath. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Jeebus. Everything's crashing. Like literally one thing after the other. Oh my gosh. Was it 4390? Was it 4390? Lord Kuro, are you here? Wah! Hello? 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 Help! Things are not going well, guys. Everything crashed and now nothing's working no more. There we go. Okay, we got that back. Jeebus. Okay. Alright, this is back. Jeebus. I'm very sorry about that. And now the music stopped. Behind the scenes pros. Yeah, I guess you were seeing my my Twitch board, huh? Okay, we should be back. Thank you all again for your patience. Where were we in that story? Okay, yeah, we were at... Yeah, the maze 2. By the way, it's called The Game, and you all lost the game. Yes. The maze 2. What happened to the maze? Oh, there was no the maze, just the maze 2. This is the sort of shit I'm talking about. So you say it's a game, like a board game? Well, no, not really a board game. Honestly, it's not really a game at all. It's just a big maze. There's something you need to know about Yancy. One of the reasons Isabel was selected to run the company at such a young age was that the hope was she would outlive Yancy, and the title of Doctor Wondertainment would pass to someone with more, basic mental... basic mental and emotional functionality. Yancy is an absolute head case and a shit-ton toy maker. He doesn't really get the whole toy making thing. He's more like a kid who builds a big thing out of Lego or whatever, and then doesn't want anyone else to play with it. He's kind of a dick, and you can see how that business model wouldn't be conducive to growth and development. That redeem is a little dead. Use that redeem while I'm gaming. That's the best moment to use it, not when I'm reading. I'll just pause the thing for a moment. You might hear some beeps. Alright, so that's the deal. I'll tell you where the entrance to Yancy's dumb game is, and you and your jackboots can roll down to Fulton Industrial and buzz the door in and gather up whatever snacks and surprises he's managed to stuff into the place. This I'll do in exchange for one small favor. Oh god, there we go. No, seriously, this isn't a bad one. When Yancy left HQ, he took a bunch of stuff with him. Personal belongings, some cars, a hot air balloon, and some prized stuffed turkeys. That sort of thing. Then he also decided to nab a filing cabinet full of financial records because he thought it would be some wild blow to the organization. What he didn't consider was that it's 2019 and all of our records are backed up to the cloud. However, in the wake of this treachery, we realize he also stole something much, much worse. Our filing folder of incriminating and embarrassing pictures of our board members. Myself included. Gosh, that smoothie is good. Delivery is en route. Oh well. What? Why would you keep a file folder full of naughty pictures of yourselves? Insurance. It's one thing to threaten a man with a lawsuit, and another to threaten him with exposing his dangle-dangle. Keeps everybody happy and in line. Oh yeah, sure, happy. With a slight undercurrent of fear, it's the Wondertainment way. So, where is this file folder now? Oh, it's in the filing cabinet. Yancy doesn't even realize he's got it, that absolute trout. But when he realized the financial records were of no use to him, he tosses the cabinet into the middle of his very stupid and bad maze game. All we need is that file folder. You can keep literally anything else you find there. Hang on, why do we need to be involved in this? Aren't you capable of sending a team of your own guys there? Look, think about this for literally any seconds. If we send a squad in there to tear up this absolute Pelux dumb maze thing, he would realize that there's actually something valuable in that filing cabinet, right? What? We added 3 bits and 2 bonus bits to Card's power-up redemption. Twitch just... What? Wait, Twitch just gave me 5 cents? Huh. Thanks? Sorry, I'm just confused. I've never seen that before. So then he goes and flips past financial records into fine pictures of dicks and butts and stuff. And that's the ball game. A ball game. He has all the cards and he just doesn't know it. We want you to be our bluff. This seems like a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be. But it's a really bad game. But I know how much of a hard-on you sickos have for putting weird shit in boxes. And there's a whole cornucopia of weird shit underneath that dirty-ass pizza joint, like 10 miles from here. Are you in? Or are you not in? I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I don't care. It's up to you. We'll do it if you want us to. Alright, you've convinced me. We're in. Excellent. Glad to hear it. See, out of random curiosity, are you guys all up to date with your vaccination? Basic stuff, tetanus, measles, Ebola. Ebola? Oh, okay. By the way, when I asked about my arm, the first thing they asked was like, how up to date are you on your tetanus shot? I was like, earlier than expected, actually. Alright, Addendum 4390.2, attempt number 1. Initial exploration of 4390 was conducted by Mobile Task Force Atlanta 2 fucking traffic. What? The delivery girl is down to go in the hospital that made her laugh. Maybe she's the one. You know what? If that is how you find a date, if that is how, like, you find a love, I will be very happy for you. And I will take, of course, all of the credit. Mission objective was to survey the danger within 4390 and reach the center of the labyrinth, if possible. Alright. Members involved. Okay, when I see MTF, I know it's supposed to be Mobile Task Force, but I just see male to female. I have too many trans friends. Wait, is there such a thing as too many? I don't think so, probably not. So we got Franco, Vice, and Litter? Franco says, alright, Mike's hot. Let's go into this refrigerator. The team passes through the threshold of 4390. They emerge on the other side in the entrance courtyard of the labyrinth. You might not believe this, boss, but I don't think this is a refrigerator at all. Stow it, Kowalski. We've got important business to do here. The team approaches an archway over the main entrance. Carved into it are large block letters reading, Professor Amazamantopia's The Maze 2, the game also. You lost the game again. You're welcome. Seemingly in impact font. Below, these are the words in no way affiliated with any low-class Dr. Entertainment products. Only high-quality entertainment here. Wow, this guy's for real, huh? Suddenly, a face appears on the arch next to them. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Jesus, what? What? No, no dying in here. That's forbidden. That's against the rules. The face, hello travelers, and welcome to Professor Amazon and Tobia's Maze 2, the game, a carnival of wonders for all ages. Hey, calm down there, brother. There's no need to shout. We're right here. Apologies, friends. The curse that binds me here demands that I elevate my voice to unnecessary levels in order to maintain a sense of increased excitement in all participants. So, how does this work? We just go into the maze and what? What do we get when we get into the middle? When? You give yourself too much credit! Too much credit! Nobody yet has solved Professor Amazamantopia's incredible puzzle! Not even Professor Amazamantopia! But for those who should persevere, untold riches and bounties await! And all we have to do is get to the middle. Yes, it is a maze. That's what you do with mazes. Do we get any hint? What? What? No, it's a maze. There are no hints. What happens if we get lost? Or we can't get to the center? Are there any exits? The only exit is by taking or losing your life. Sort of a shitty maze. Hey, I heard that. You don't have to do the maze. Nobody is forcing you. And yes, if you want to escape the maze, the only way out is death. If you die, you will become a phantom, forever hunting future travelers of the maze. Until you all die, of course, in which case you will be returned to the front of the maze. Alright, well, I guess we'll do the maze. Let's go, boys. Wait, I have to sing the maze song before you can go in. Oh, that's the welcome to the game, the maze 2. It's a thrilling maze for you. If you want to be rich and strong, enter my maze. You can't go wrong, sing the maze song. It's a great song, it's a maze song for me and you. That was worse than I thought I would be. Wow, okay, very cool thing to say. Just trying to help out over here. Doing my job, fine then, dickholes. Go ahead, get in there. You won't hear me crying when you're dead. I need an announcer like that. The door leading to SCP-4390 opens. ATL-2 team enters the maze and the door shuts behind them. From the other side, the face in the wall can be heard shouting profanities. Alright, keep alert, let's get going. The team travels through the labyrinth for a short period of time. They encounter a small group of creatures that look like large beetles with duck bills and a single hopping leg. After the creatures pass, the team comes around the corner and sees a wide gap between where they stand and the rest of the path. In front of them is a pit that extends down as far as they can see. As they are looking into the pit, the face appears to the wall next to them. I love singing. Why do you like singing the maze song? It's a great song. Greeting, assholes. Jesus Christ. Vice is startled by the appearance of the face and stumbles backward. He trips over a root on the ground and falls into the pit. Vice! Oh, fuck! Oh no, what a shame. Should update I have food, and the girl was laughing at the whole situation. I tipped her. Hell yeah! I'm glad it went well, and bon appetit. Vice disappears into the darkness. There's a moment of silence, and then the sound of something heavy striking the ground at high speed. Another moment later, a spectral Vice appears in front of the group. Oh shit. Ah shit, I'm a ghost! I told you what would happen if you weren't careful. I did tell you, didn't I? You spooked me! It's your fault, you shouting dick!
It's my job to inform travelers about the trials they will face within the maze.
Vice, you alright? Yeah, I think. I feel alright, I'm just very spectral.
And so you shall remain until you complete the maze or your friends also die.
This is dumb.
Yeah, well, fuck you too, asshole. Alright, this is the Great Gap. To proceed, you must cross this gap, but be very careful. A fall from this height could spell your doom.
You don't fucking say.
Look, it's not my fault you didn't listen to the instructions before attempting to cross the gap.
Let it go, boys. Let's just try to get across. What do you think? Can you jump it? Yeah, maybe. Lighter takes several steps back and gets a running start. As he approaches the ledge, he jumps to cross the gap. He gets a hand on the far side but can't hold on and falls into the pit. His video feed also cuts off, and after a short moment, a spectral lighter appears in front of Franco. Oh, fuck. Ah, Christ.
Wow, 2 out of 3 on the very first obstacle. You guys are pros. Let me tell you, what an accomplishment.
It has to be like, what, some sort of a lever or something that opens a path across? Ah, this tree, right? Just sort of give it the old push. Franco pushes a nearby tree over the gap, creating a makeshift bridge.
Congratulations, dumbass. You figured out this very difficult tree puzzle.
Oh, fuck off. Franco, Vice, and Lyda continue traveling down the corridor, occasionally looping back after finding a dead end. The path opens into a small graveyard. In the center of the graveyard, a thin, pale human woman in tattered clothing stooping over a small cauldron. Franco approaches this person. Hello there. Greetings, traveler. I am the witch.
What? I didn't tell them they could take my likeness.
Perhaps you would like to enjoy one of my special brews, yes? They are very mysterious and magical. Alright, what's this shit? A face appears on a nearby wall.
She told you her name was the witch, dipshit. Are you hard of hearing too?
When did you become part of this? Apparently now, or in 2019. Wait, was I even a thing in 2019? I'm not even sure I was a thing in 2019. I got that. What does the brew do? Is this poison?
I wish. It's a random concussion of whatever she has laying around. It can do all sorts of stuff to you. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I personally hope it's bad.
Can I go past you without drinking your weird brew? No, dearie, I'm afraid you can't. Yeah, fuck it, might as well. Franco drinks from the cauldron. He begins to rub his eyes furiously, and when he opens them up, they have changed to a bright green. Holy shit, I can see everything. I can see into the center of the maze, and I can see the exit right there. It's so far away. Hey, witch, does any of that brew give you like super speed or something? Maybe, who knows? Good enough for me. Give me some of that stuff. Franco takes another drink from the cauldron. He begins to noticeably swell, and moments later explodes in a shower of bananas. Moments later, Franco, Lighter, and Vice appear at the entrance of the maze. Their tactical gear and all clothing items are missing.
Wow, you guys are ass.
And log amazing. Alright, time to take a sip. Alright, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. We have, again, Franco Weisleiter, and we have Cairo and Dance. Alright. Mobile Task Force passes through SCP-4390 and enters the labyrinth. Upon reaching the other side, the face appears again on a nearby wall.
Oh ho ho, look who rattles back in for round 2. Getting your cheeks clapped the first time wasn't bad enough. You had to go and find some friends to experience it with you.
Ah, shut up.
Oh, don't worry, you won't be hearing anything from me. I know a lost cause when I see one. I'll just be chilling back here, watching your failures and enjoying the satisfaction of your defeat.
Dude, seriously, you're a wall.
And you fell in a hole. We all fall short of the glory of God.
Jesus! Wow! Okay. Is that thing always like that? He's a cock. Just ignore him, but also expect him everywhere. The team travels through the labyrinth for some time. Eventually, they reach a wider passage with a small cot on the side. A hatch opens on the side of the cot, and a vaguely arachnoid entity with a vaguely reptilian face and a distinctly Australian accent appears. Oh god, do I have to do the Australian accent? Greetings there, fellas. My name's Dominican Joe, purveyor of fine goods. Looks like you're out there exploring the old maze, eh? A bit of a bad spot, that is. Have a look at me wares, tell me what you think. What's your favorite sauce? Ooh. I think I'd go with, like, bulgogi sauce or kalbi sauce. Lately I've been too much into smoked salmon. Ugh. Raw smoke. I prefer raw salmon, but yeah. Especially on my end of the world. I live in the flatlands, so yeah, fish is expensive. Do you have sweet and sour? Of course I do. Hey, just a quick question. What are you? Me? Well, I'm a crawly gobbler there, mate. Well, me mum was a crawly hog, and my dad was a snatch gobbler, so I guess I'm sort of both. But I almost got all me mom's features, I've been told. What do you have for sale? Let's see, we got some bullets that shoot lightning, a hat that can protect you from things falling on your dome, and this thing you strap on your hog that makes things die when you stick it in them. Alright, now hear me out. No. Cool. What about those lightning bullets? Those sound neat. How much for those? Well, that'll be 19 scraps of nath. Come again? Scraps of nath? You know, those little pieces of paper made from the sale of Mirash's ship that we use as currency. Damn, that's a breaker there, boys. Well, how about this? We can do ourselves a little fix-it here. I'll give you these bullets if you give me your toes. My what? Your toes, mate. Those are wriggly guys at the end of your feet. Come on, who needs those? Besides, you gotta swap them for lightning bullets. Pretty cool, eh? I use those to walk though. Now, mate, come off it. You don't walk on your toes. You walk on those big flat guys behind them. I'm not asking for the flat guys. Those don't do me any good, but I can make something happen with those little regulars. I think I'm probably good. Oh, a real bummer. Well, how's this? That is your coin, and if you ever need me to show up here, shop here, just spot this bad boy in any crack of the old wall you find out there, eh? Dominican Joe hands the lighter a small brass coin. Yeah, thanks. You got him right. Maybe once or twice a day you had the opportunity to pamper yourself a little. It's probably cheaper here. €4 for 100 grams. That's about 7 Canadian. Yeah, that's actually pretty much the same. That's actually pretty much the same amount here. The party continues to navigate through the maze, crossing several obstacles as they do. Occasionally, the face will appear to vent its frustration at them, and then disappear shortly afterwards. They approach a white chamber with a domed roof covered in various foliage. As they enter, they see a large feline-esque creature with a woman's face sitting in the center of the room. The door shuts behind them, and the feline creature turns to face them. Hello, travelers. I am the dreamer. Welcome to my lair. Huh? Huh? Secret gift? Ooh. Can't wait to see what it is. Thank you, Carlet. Are you supposed to be a sphinx? No. My understanding is a sphinx was not in the budget. I am a katagon, like a sphinx but fewer component parts. So what's the deal here then? There are 5 of you, so I will give you 3 riddles, each more complicated and devious than the last. You have ostensibly 5 chances to solve all 3 riddles. If you muck it up, I'll eat one of you, so don't muck it up. Look, I'm not about to get eaten by a cat. Can't we go around? There has to be another way past this thing. There is not. If you try to go around, you're going to be walking for like months. It's a big labyrinth. The only way into the inner circle is this way, or another way on the far side of the labyrinth. However, that side is guarded by your Dojaneva, which is much more of the stabby-bitey variety than the more toned-down riddles I've got going on here. Don't think we have much of a choice here, boys. Karu, wanna go first? I guess. She steps forward. Alright, let's hear the riddle. The dreamer begins to shimmer slightly, bands of blue color pulsing down its cream-colored fur. After a moment, it stops and the creature opens its eyes. A boy and a doctor go fishing. The boy is the doctor's son, but the doctor is not the boy's father. Who is the doctor? Is that it? Yes. Damn, that's a tricky one. Who is the doctor? It's the mother. The doctor is the boy's mother. Ah, damn it. I thought I would have gotten one of you with that one. I think you would have side eyes lighter. Ah! If I buy a thingy now, will it arrive at your birthday? Oh yeah, totally. My birthday is like at the end of the month. We're not even mid-month, and except the chocolate thing, who I don't know why they came from freaking Belgium, they usually arrive within a week. I'm out of sips already. It's warm in here. I keep drinking water. I'll go get myself some more water. I'll be right back. I feel bad. I keep like making small pauses, but I'll be right back, okay? I swear. I had forgotten to unmute. Hey, I'm back. For those who are listening and not watching, I am back. Alright, we had finished the first riddle here. Thank you, Religion. Y'all are way too generous. Y'all making me blush. Alright, very well. Next riddle. Pauses, shimmers again. What do an island and the letter T have in common? Crossings? Those are sort of shitty riddles, are they? Hey! Turns and snaps at Vice, who jumps backward. Nobody asked you. Sorry. Alright, is that they're both in the middle of water, because the T and water, and also islands. I've heard this riddle 1,000 times. Damn, you did it again. You done went and did the damn thing. I am absolutely gadzooked. Alright, let's wrap this up. Last one, let's hear it. What becomes wetter the more it dries? A dryer? Wrong! It's Cairo. Hey, it said you had 5 chances. It said you had ice. It doesn't dry though. Your Tron pop-up is broken again. You need to set it back up again. Ah! It's because I'm on another thing, but I see the pop-ups and I thank the people, okay? Did I buy the thing it was showing? I don't know! My right ear conduit is fricked. Oh no! Oh no. Is it because my voice is so piercing that it damaged your hearing? Because if it's... Wait, let me see. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. Let me see. Ba ba ba. No, I don't want to watch Rags and Rituals, even though they are very fun. Integrations. Okay, maybe it's not there. Hold on. Uh, 1920. The things y'all are making me do. Well, mostly Lord Kuro. Let's see. Let's do a test. Test. There we go. Now I have the random pictures of headphones. Alright, happy now, Lord Kuro. But you're still in the hospital, right, Night Crusades? You should talk to those people about that. Alright, it's Cairo. Holy fuck, across I'm gonna be sick. God damn it, Lighter, get up here. But you can do it, big guy, for the team. Well, okay, the weather no more dries. The weather no more dries. Is this a dead bedroom joke? Moves to attack Lighter but hesitates. Is that your answer? No, definitely not. Oh, I got it. It's a towel. Because it dries you, but then it gets wetter. It's a towel. Ah, shit. Alright, fine. It's all yours. Feel free to pass through. Where is Cairo? The sound of a slight muffled struggle emanates from within the dreamer. Moments later, the incorporeal form of ATL2 Cairo appears through the side of the entity. I am now a ghost, I guess. This is a weird maze. This is fucking stupid. Let's keep going. The team proceeds down through the chamber and into the hallway beyond. After a short time, they come to a split in the hallway. Two male figures, one dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, and the other in a bathrobe, stand in front of each of the pathways. Notably, the letter S is embroidered on their clothing. Alright, what do we have here? Hola, viajeros. Me llamo Señor Honestidad. Este es mi hermano, Señor Deshonestidad. Detrás de nosotros hay dos caminos y solo uno conduce al santuario interior. Sin embargo, solo tienen una pregunta que nos pueden hacer para determinar qué rúa es la correcta. El otro camino es muy peligroso, así que tengan cuidado con lo que decidan preguntar. Yeah, so, for those who don't speak Spanish, basically it's the one tells lies, the other one tells the truth. There are two ways. If you take the wrong one, you're gonna go through a very long and dangerous road. Shit, alright. Do any of you speak Spanish? I took Spanish in middle school. I could give it a shot. That's it? Nobody else here speaks Spanish? The rest of the team shakes their head. Franco sighs. Alright, Lighter, give it a shot. Hola, me llamo Lighter. ¿Cómo estás? Alright. Estoy bien, gracias. I've managed to establish a line of communication. I will now begin with some inquiries. Hi. Hay una fiesta en mis pantalones y estás invitado? What? What? That means there's a party in my pants and you're invited? That was decent Spanish. Gracias. God. I learned a little bit of Spanish in high school and it stuck to me. Hi to on the grass. Hope you're doing well. Did you see something about a party in his pants? Hold on, let me try again. Queremos ir al interior. ¿Dónde deberemos ir? Vengan por aquí. Oh, thank you for the follow. Vengan por aquí. Este es el camino hacia el círculo interior. So he says, like, go that way. This is the road to the interior circle. No. No escuchan a esta trucha. Vengan por este camino. Este es el camino de verdad. Okay, so he's saying, no, don't listen to that guy. That road is the right one. Okay, I think I've got it. They're saying that they're brothers and that we can only ask one question of them to see which path to go down. Alright, so what do we ask? What path should we go down? Alright, what did they say? They each said their own hallway. Very mysterious. God damn it, Lighter, you moron. This is some kind of mind bender, and you went and bucked up our only chance to get some decent intel about this. Christ, might as well have asked them their names. Oh no, they've already told us those. The guy on the left is Mr. Honesty, and his brother there is Mr. Dishonesty. Why is Mr. Dishonesty wearing a bathrobe? Es un hombre deshonesto que sale de su casa sin nada entre sus genitales y el aire libre excepto una delgada capa de tela. I don't even know what they just said. I poured genitals in the air. And you know what? I don't think I even want to translate that. So Mr. Honesty is the one on the left. Correct. Alright, let's go that way. Good job, Lyda. The team continues forward for a short time, crossing many other smaller obstacles and fending off minor aggression from some strange fauna along the way. After an hour passes, they come across a man in a blue bathrobe standing in the middle of a four-way junction, looking anxiously at a piece of paper in his hand. The man is wearing a blue top hat with a white star on the front, as well as a pair of oversized wire-framed glasses. As the party approaches, he turns toward them with a start. Whoa there, slow your roll, Chief. Don't get any closer. I'm warning you. Or what? I'll kick your ass, asshole! Hang on, I recognize that nasally timbre. You're the face in the wall! The face suddenly appears on a nearby wall.
Unfortunately, no, you dumb fish. I sprung full form from the mind of this brilliant man standing before you. He is the world's premier architect of the arcane and uncanny. He's the mastermind behind the turning of the world's wheels. He is...
lost, by the looks of it. Yes. So you're Yancy then, yeah? Excuse you, I'll not have you referring to me by my slave name. Oh wow. 30 seconds, wish me a good night for it. Good night at Crusades! Good night, hope you get home soon. I am Professor Amazamentopia, toy maker extraordinaire. Is this supposed to be a toy?
It's a toy.
It's not really a, it's more of a prototype, you know, like...
It's a prototype.
Yes, alright, calm down, Eugene. Look, I'm a skilled craftsman. This much is true. You've no doubt here because you've heard of my accomplishment and decided to seek out my masterpiece for yourself. No, we're just here for the loot at the center of the maze. Honestly, I'd forgotten your name until a few minutes ago. The rest of the team concurs. Yancy Watertimon appears spread out. Well, look, some of us don't have the luxury and near infinite resources afforded to those real watertainments. I could have had that, you know. It was mine, but the board of directors gave me this end around, and now I'm down here, dealing with this mess. Look at it, it's a sprawling heap. I built this stupid thing and now I'm stuck in it.
Wow, boss, this is both enlightening and existentially devastating.
I love this, I love this. I could have get on myself, but I'm trying to get to the center of the maze too. I've recently discovered there are lewd photographs of the board of directors in the file folder there, and I'm going to get them, copy them, and then post them to my WordPress blog for all to see. That will show them not to fuck with Yancy Di Petito Cortez Entertainment. You already knew about the pictures though, didn't you? Yep. You probably heard about them from that put Sebastian Flinchley, didn't you? Mm-hmm. And you're here to get them before I do. That's basically everything, yeah. Well, boys, it's been a lot of fun catching up. Run, Eugene! Scamper away! The face shrieks. He is a dishonest man who leaves his house with nothing between his genitals but the open air except a thin layer of cloth. Thank you for taking the time to translate. It's appreciated. Yancy Watertimon and the face flee from the group. The group pursues them. Christ, he's pretty quick for a guy in a bathrobe. What is it with bathrobes in this place? The team follows the hallway until it opens up into a large chamber. In front of them is a long, narrow stone bridge over a massive gorge. Yancy Entertainment is halfway across. As they enter the chamber, he looks back to see them. Ah shit, they're on me. Quick, you should do something! Several large sights appear from out of the darkness above. They swing down toward the bridge, and as they come into view, the face is visible on the flat side of the sides. Wanna know the quote pool? What's the quote pool? Oh, okay, you mean like the random quote, the quote of the day? Yes. Don't worry, Basal. Voice fades as the sides disappear back into the darkness above. What? The voice grows louder as the sides descend again. You're proud of me? Ah, fuck this. Cairo, spooky yourself on up here and follow him. Vice little dance, you're with me. The ghost of Cairo crosses the bridge unimpeded. The rest of the party approaches. The blades swing down again, and they are forced to pause as they pass. This happens twice more. Here a large stone column falls from the ceiling and crashes into Franco, killing him instantly. On the side of the column is the face, which winces as he hits the bridge. Whoopsie poopsie! The bridge beneath the remaining tree begins to collapse from the weight of the column, which falls off to the side and into the gorge. Lighter and Vance run forward and jump, and both reach back and grab Dance in time to steady her as the bridge behind them collapses. As they finish crossing the bridge, the ghost of Franco appears beside them. Fuck! They continue running in pursuit of Yancy Entertainment. They pass a long wall full of arrow slots, each in shape of the face's mouth. As they sprint down the hallway next to the wall, they are peppered by cardboard arrows. Are these arrows cardboard? Look, not everyone has $1 billion budgets, okay? This is sort of shit I'm talking about. These unrealistic expectations on toy makers really sour the pudding for the rest of us. This guy has some stuff to work out. The ghost of Kara appears to the wall next to them. Yeah, the guy is nuts. The team rounds a corner and find Yancy Entertainment standing in front of 3 doors. He throws open the door on his right and enters. The 5 team enters the door. On the other side of the door, they see they are no longer in the labyrinth. They are standing on the foothills of a mountain range stretching far to the north. The sky up ahead is dark and cloudy. There are no signs of living vegetation anywhere nearby. The only other things standing there are the burnt-out husks of dead trees. Nearby, they see the charred remains of many large, black, vaguely insectoid creatures. Hang on, what the fuck is this? In the distance, they see a small tower stretching impossibly high into the clouds. As they try to observe it from where they're standing, they see Yancy Entertainment sprinting at them. Run! Get out! We shouldn't be here! The distinct sound of animal chattering is heard all around them. Temperature sensors on all the operatives' body armor registers a distinct increase. Suddenly, the sky above the tower turns bright orange, and above the clouds a pillar of flame appears. It arcs across the sky, dissolving the clouds as it passes. The chattering increases in volume as the pillar of fire, nearly a kilometer wide, descends on them. The entire party and Yancy scramble quickly through the doorway and slam it closed behind them. Now, what's gonna chat is suddenly? It's because everyone is busy, listening to my wonderful voice. Yo, what the fuck was that? Yancy Entertainment stands as if to speak, but instead sprints through another door. The team follows. They enter a long, spiraling stone hallway full of branching connection to other parts of the labyrinth. Through a large glass window, they can see a wide courtyard at the center of the spiral, where a small pile of artifacts is resting. One of the artifacts appears to be a plain gray filing cabinet. Shit, there it is, let's go! The team runs down the spiraling hallway, occasionally cutting through offshot hallways to keep pace with Yancy. They reach a final tunnel that opens into the large circular courtyard. Though, Nancy is several paces in front of him. Yes, I did it! The crotch shots are mine! Blackmail ahoy! He is knocked sideways by the sudden appearance of Dominican Joe, who appeared from out of the ground where Lighter threw the coin he had been given earlier. Grey Mice, welcome back to my shop. What can I do for you? The team runs past Dominican Joe. Vice opens the filing cabinet and begins to hurriedly flip through the folders therein. After a moment, he pulls out a manila folder. Got it! I got it! The entire labyrinth begins to shake. On the far wall of the courtyard, the stone begins to come apart from the rest of the structure in the form of a massive stone golem. As the golem's body begins to form, the team sees that the golem has the face's face. Ah yes, the face's face.
Oh no, I don't think so. You chuckle fucks don't get to just waltz in here, insult my very good song, kick my dad in the dick and then skedaddle. I'm going to take these big rocks that are my hands and turn you into powdered dude.
Suddenly, a bullet pings off the front of the face. The team hesitates, then immediately ducks for cover as a bolt of lightning arcs across the courtyard and into the face's shoulder, causing the rock to crumble and explode. The massive entity stumbles backward.
Whoa, Nelly, what in the hell was that?
Lighter hobbles forward. It is clear that he has sold his toes to Dominican Joe.
Hey there, big guy, how about we just talk about this for a second, eh? Don't want to throw away this special thing we got, do you? You ready to good times, right? Right?
Hey, excuse me. And fuck this dude. Lighter fires 3 more times, sending 3 more bolts of lightning streaking across the courtyard towards the face. The rocks making up its body crumble and the golem collapses. Dancing, multicolored lights appear overhead and loud music begins to play from somewhere above the labyrinths. Air horns are heard over the din. Did we win? Is that it? God damn it, god damn it! I get this goddamn close to really having something I can whap those bored fuckers in the dick with and you all show up to ruin it! I mean, you had to have known we were going to get involved here. You can't just drop a giant extra spatial maze under the pizza shop and expect us not to notice. Well, how am I supposed to know that? I've never had to deal with you Foundation jerk-offs. It's not my fault that I... Yancy is cut off as a line appears in the air near them. From the line appear several other lines crossing each other and connecting to form a doorway, which materializes once the lines come together. The doorway opens and out of it steps Sebastian Fichinskli, and another Caucasian male in a black suit with a gold and purple tie. A small W is pinned to his jacket. Ah, salutations and hello, my friends. So good to see you. I am Sebastian Juno, Malthusan Hermano y Conquistado Vanabulus Extraordinarian Frank Flinchley, Marketing Director of Dr. Wondertainment Inc. This is Bertrand. The fuck do you think you're doing here? Just cleaning up your mess, Yancy. No need for hard feelings. We've all had rocky starts in our careers. Hang on, you're Bertrand Entertainment. Yes, a pleasure. This was silly, Yancy. You built a death trap down here, not a toy. We're toy makers. I understand your desire to be independent, but this is not the way you should go about it. I don't desire to be independent, Bertrand. I desire to be Dr. Wondertainment. It's mine by right. If Isabel is predisposed, then it falls to me. It shouldn't roll back to you. We shouldn't do this here, Yancy. Let's go home and we can talk this out. I'm not going home, Dad. I'm Professor Amazamentopia, and I'm going to be the best goddamn toy maker in the fucking Omniverse. You just watch. There is a flash and Yancy disappears. Oh, my apologies. Yancy has always been a hot-headed boy. He's not dissimilar to Isabel. You have the file folder? Yeah. Here. Thank you. I won't ever understand why the board decided to keep something this foul lying around where it can be scooped up by vindictive hairs. Thank you very much, friends. We appreciate this more than you know. Maybe think about this, Sebastian, before you go around snapping any more pictures of your Johnson. Yes, sir. Sincerest apologies. Very well. Thank you again, friends. And if you happen to run into Yancy again, please do be patient with him. He means well, I believe. He's just an asshole. Dr. Wondertainment and Sebastian flinchily enter through the door again. As it closes, the door disappears. So how do we get a large shadow obscures the entire group as a massive stone disc falls on them from the darkness above the labyrinth. In the final seconds, before the cameras are destroyed, the team recognizes the face on the bottom of the disc. Eat my ass, chumps! All remaining... I think this is Detectives SCP, such an absurd article. I know, right? It's just... mwah. I love it so much. Well, everything from Dr. Wondertainment is a trip. There's one that I particularly there's this other one, like Mr. Dodo. Oh, I love Mr. Dodo. Like, everyone's trying to get, like, you know, the spookiest SCP. You know, I want to see, like, the silliest, the craziest, the funniest. All remaining team members were killed instantly. Moments later, the entire team appears at the entrance of the labyrinth, naked and without their belongings, save for the filing cabinet. Fuck. Amazing. That was amazing. Let me take a sip. Have I already requested? I don't think so. Let me see. You sure it's a D? Cause 6469, I know this. Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah, remember it was just like, yeah, I remember seeing this, just like the SCP with like the smallest lifespan, just like, what is that? Bold sprints to the child and kicks it full force into the wall, instantly killing it. Yes, that was amazing. Let me just like real quick. I'm seeing 049J. Thanks, na. Been a while. Alright, so I have people suggesting 049J in this Reddit thread. Jamie said it's a joke one. So, it's Disruption Class VLAM, Caution Risk Class, and Containment Euclid. Alright, 049J is contained at, well, it was at 19, then 101, then 17, then 81, then 13, and then Special Restricted High Security Top Secret MK Ultra Area Region Landmass 101.5 WFML near Richmond, VA. 049J is permitted to leave its holding cell only under supervision of 2 guards armed with AR-15 rifles and stun baton. Did you already read the IKEA one? Doesn't read a bell. If you can find me the number of the SCP, I will gladly read it. I should be better now. I'm really glad to hear that. Due to olfactory concerns for staff assigned to 49J, the entity is no longer allowed to remove its mask. Okay, so we'll do 2718, then 3008. Noted. Alright. 49J is a humanoid entity wearing the period-appropriate garb of a medieval plague doctor. Further analysis of 49J has revealed that under its robe, the entity is composed mostly of moss, walls of tissue, and other smaller plague doctor masks. It's okay. Why not? It is generally compliant with Foundation staff, but will sometimes lie and occasionally sweat profusely for no reason whatsoever. 49J, during his time in Foundation, it has continually claimed to be a powerful magical doctor wizard, capable of curing which ails mankind. Rogue Artificial Intelligence Attainment fully realized adaptive mainframe encryption. RAID frame. To date, it has been unable to cure literally anything, and typically only exacerbates conditions considerably. While this alone would not be enough for the Foundation to hold 49J indefinitely as an anomalous entity, it has also proven capable of somehow always evading capture and escaping from Foundation sites after its true lack of capabilities are revealed. Because of this, and because of staff's unwavering curiosity as to whether it has any of the self-proclaimed healing abilities it describes, 49J is to be housed and treated as an anomalous entity. Oh, with Dr. Bacon. Lovely. Hello, 49J. Welcome to I Am a Doctor. Yes, I'm aware. We're just hoping this is I have the cure. Yeah, well, we'll get to that. First off, can you tell me your name? Yes, quite very well. I have the cure, good sir. Indubitably, yes, I am a doctor. What? Bring me to the patients. I will heal them. Gestures with pointed doctor stick. Jesus, what were you swinging that? I am the cure. What in the world? I get it. You're sort of a moron, aren't you? No, good sir. I am most effective. I mean my cure. I am the cure. Very effective. The most. Because I am a doctor. Right. Yeah, we're going to look into that. Let's, gestures for existence. Where's that joking tree that's just entire Great Gatsby pasted into a single page? I don't know which one it is exactly, but I know that the latest Gravity Falls book have that. Like, they have like, I think 10 pages of the Great Gatsby because it entered public domain. researchers wheeling a patient on a table. So this patient has a pestilence. Yes, I can smell it. Has a sore throat. We were wondering if you know of any cures to fix their ailments. Yes, of course. I am a doctor after all. Subject begins to dig around in their doctor's bag for some time. I need any help over there? No! He is not the cure, I am the cure. Ah yes, this will do the trick. This is a shoe. Yes, that will heal the person. It is the cure. Alright, go ahead. 49J proceeds to gesture dramatically over the patient before violently beating the patient's throat with a shoe. Whoa, fuck, what are you doing? How's this supposed to help? 49J is shrieking incoherently. After a moment, the entity stops. The patient lies mutilated and dead on the tabletop. What the fuck was that? The patient is healed. No, she's not. You just crushed her throat with a shoe. No, patient is very well now. Yes, I am the cure. Look at all this blood. Moral atrocities aside, this is going to take hours to clean up. You just killed a person. No, they are cured. Yes, watch. It grabs the corner of the patient's mouth and begins to move it while speaking out the corner of his own. Hello, yes, I am the patient. Good, sure, and I am cured. Most effective. Thank you, doctor. You did a good job. You are the best doctor. Oh, wow. What the heck? Yeah, my head, what is wrong with my head? Okay. Now, look here, I see your hand down there. I know this isn't the patient talking. What is this supposed to be? Oh look, more persons over there, points behind Dr. Baker. What? For fuck's sake, he's gone again. God damn it. Post-incident videos logs show SCP-49J making a brisk escape through a side door. Additional footage gathered from a nearby town shows 49J stopping at a hardware store to pick up a pointier wooden doctor stick. The end. Wow. Alright, now we're gonna go with the 2718. Ooh. Things are moving. Catastrophic abort at D09E2AD9. Handle not found. Special containment procedures. SCP Burp is a Dameron class cognitohazard. All personnel, regardless of clearance, are forbidden to expose themselves to the description of this article under any circumstances. Do not tamper with this warning without Dameron clearance. Do not discuss the existence of this article with any person. No disciplinary action will be necessary, provided you close this article now and clear your browser cache. I will not. Why have bottom surgery when you're already a bottom? Ayo! Atypical software measures have been used to mitigate the risk of accidental exposure. It is only by an unfortunate coincidence of extremely low probability that you have stumbled across this entry at all. No disciplinary action will be necessary, provided you close this article now and clear your browser cache. Since creation, only the Special Containment Procedures section of this record has ever been editable. Due to the clearance of the file's original author and anomalous database limitations in effect, this record can neither be deleted nor effectively redacted. Access restrictions cannot be applied to the data in any reliable way. Of course, access restrictions can still be enforced. It is too late to close this article. Do not discuss the existence of this article with any person. Notify the help desk that your workstation has a Demeron contamination. Shut off your monitor and seek immediate amnestic. And now... And I have eaten, thank you very much, but I will take my sip. Alright. The following conditions shall constitute a breach. Exposure to any part of the description, however briefly. Failure to close this article within 18 seconds of exposure without code word clearance. Shut off your monitor now. Notify the breach desk that you and your workstation have Demeron contamination. Await MTF processing. Again, male to female processing. Wait, I'm putting it on my head. Why is it cupping my tits? This is weird. Oh. Can I reset my view real quick? Because this is a... Well, this is a bit better, ain't it? Well, I don't know why my head is like that. But, I guess we'll do it like this, eh? And yes, I will take another sip. Alright, where are we in the story? The breach to which you are responding has already been mostly contained by an automated system, and containment will be complete when you restart this terminal. However, your orders are to attempt to improve the current containment procedures by any means possible within the time allotted to you. You have been temporarily granted administrative network access from this terminal. Use any resources you deem necessary to fulfill your mission. But do not expose yourself to the cognito hazard in the description. The following technical details will help in your task. As noted above, this article ignores the delete command. It cannot be exfiltrated from the database without extensive collateral corruption of other critical systems. Instead, the containment strategy is to minimize the probability of a user discovering this entry by chance. To this end, an unhaltable mainframe process, ID 9000013, repeatedly switches the ordinal designation of this article with that of another randomly selected entry. Normally, when two article numbers are exchanged for administrative purposes, the two entries disappear from the index momentarily. A kernel exploit of Professor Erratum 23 allows us to delay completion of the subroutine by deeply recursing the article, renumbering with an intentionally terrible blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Technobabble. Breach will occur in the unlikely event that a user with index privileges loads the main list at precisely the correct moment and, despite need to know best practices, follows the link to this entry, ignores the warnings, and reads past the first paragraph. The intervals between visibility are indeterminate but finite. On average, the interval will grow larger as the number of available articles grows, but shorter as the mainframe's hot swappable processors increase in flops. This kludge has a gravely serious side effect. The SCP article randomly selected for the swap also disappears from the list for the period of time, not reappearing under a new ID. Okay, technobabble. You are subject to summary termination by Trident class memetic if you proceed past this point. You can't tell me what to do! You can't tell me what to do! I had to know that kills pride together to try that kills pride together in a hurry. The one constructed and installed by my predecessor was clearly defective. Instead of the donkey kick I expected from a standard inoculation, I barely registered minor eye strain. Of course, under the circumstances, I suppose we're limited, aren't we? To a contaminated workstation and barely adequate tools. Anyway, if you survive that memetic, hopefully it's because you have the code word clearance and not because I didn't get it right either. In that case, you're probably boned pretty bad, and I apologize for not killing you in time. But cut me some slack! When we looked them up 90 minutes ago, the only procedures for this code were to randomly select one mainframe qualified coder for the experimental containment research group with level 3 clearance. Guess what? That's a pretty small subset of personnel to choose randomly. Well, Spock smashes scissors but paper this for Spock, so now, in return for containment duty, I get to blow a sizable chunk of my life out of my skull. At least I don't have to remember them processing the Lucky Lou who caused this breach. Assuming you ECRG like me, you've never heard of Damarung before today either. Here's what I can tell you. From the look of the source code and comments, you're probably the 4th or 5th to respond to this thing since inception. I made a couple minor edits. Apparently I'm supposed to be like... The Bogo sort is a way of sorting a set to order you want by randomly swapping two of the things and checking to see if it works forever. One of the worst way to sort things. I see. Let me try something, because I'm not supposed to be like... What? I'm so tiny, what the heck? Why is this switch so tiny? And now, where am I? Ah! Doo-doo-doo. Hello! I'm Pixie now. You like the flying Mancer? You like the whee! Ah, I was wondering. There we go. Alright, where were we? Sorry about all that. I was like... like my head kept being weird, but it was because I had previously, I had previously, I had previously done like some pose adjustments, like my head would be straighter in some poses. Anyway, you're not here for the technobabble. Let's keep reading. I couldn't... Indiana was only able to de-optimize the existing recursion by a factor of 2. I don't know enough about the underlying hardware or how often users follow unfamiliar links from the main list to guess how much difference that makes. I'm sure on first implementation, they thought they had 5, maybe 10 years between breaches, but I know for a fact that they've introduced at least one quantum processor to the grid, which will deprecate this approach faster than you can say a redacted. Hopefully, you've got a better idea for a slower algo than I or so the last treated. Maybe upgrade to a quantum BOGO sort or of the article numbers. On this hardware, that might technically be an XK algorithm and therefore forbidden. I don't know. I've used up most of my time already, and I can't risk another recompile in the few minutes remaining before I have to commit these changes and wash down this stick of dynamite with warm, backwashy Mountain Dew. Andrew out. P.S. I got to thinking my brain was hosed either way, so what the hell, and I don't know why, but I just went ahead and did it. Couldn't help myself, really. Resist the urge. It's clearly a fridge-class cognito-hazard, and already it's starting to sink in, so this horse pill better work right quick. Begin recording. Microphone tapping. Chair sliding. There you go, ma'am. This interpreter is new technology, but it will allow you to forego the use of a keyboard for the article creation. Just speak naturally into the microphone. We can go back and revise any errors after you've finished. I don't think so, young man. There won't be time. This must also be a permanent record access, restricted to L3s and up. Can you prevent anyone from tampering with this entry later? Anyone, ma'am? And anyone and everyone, you understand me. If there is ever but one article left in the database, this had better be it. Well, I'm not senior enough to select the most appropriate technique to accomplish that. Maybe if we got Gefford involved. I want you to make an executive decision. I'm confident in your ability. We cannot delay. Okay, there's a mechanism I could take advantage of. It's actually designed to protect against anomalous data corruption, but it would have the effect you're looking for, if you're certain. Ma'am, I could make this section of the article right once and splice it into database runtime. However, that means no editing whatsoever will be possible. If you misspeak, you'll just have to clarify and keep going. Very well, so. Fortunately, I'm a world-class dictator. For the degree of security you have in mind, ma'am, I'll need to borrow your credential token. Thank you. One moment, please. Oh, hi, Wholesome! Hope you're doing well. Keyboard sound. That's it. You've been very helpful. That will be all. For your own safety, I am ordering you to obtain amnestic treatment as soon as possible. Enough to forget this entire morning. Do you understand? I, do. Good. You will likely be subjected to enhanced interrogation within a day or two. It will go easier for you if you have no memory of this. Oh boy. Oh boy. As a literal token of my gratitude for your loyalty, why don't you hold on to those credentials? I won't be needing them. If you act quickly, I suspect you can think of a way to put them to good use before they are revealed and you are detained. Yes, ma'am? Now go. I foresee that you have a fine career ahead of you. We will not speak again. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye. I will take a sip. My name is Miriam Prather. I have been 057 for 77 years. Wow, I will remain so for perhaps 7 minutes more. And that is not enough time to devise adequate special containment procedures myself. I'll leave that to you. Over the course of my tenure, I have witnessed 19 distinct anomalous methods to restore life. The devices and entities responsible take vastly different forms, but when you look past the science, the magic, the razzle-dazzle, they are fundamentally two broad but simple categories. The first type is replication, whereby a clone, simulacrum, or other copy is made of the subject's mind and body as it existed at some point in time. The second sort is temporal. With this approach, the space-time paths of the subject's constituent particles are reversed and events literally undone, until the subject is restored to a functional state. These two categories have a crucial commonality. The restored individual has no memory or experience of death. To put it another way, despite 2.4 million years of hominin speculation, Foundation records contain no reliable first-hand testimony regarding what happens to us after we die. We have other sources of information, naturally, but in light of recent events, I believe that the SCPs we have interrogated on this topic over the years are guilty of either ignorance or deceit. For you see, we invented an exception. 6 months ago, we resurrected Roder Sheldon, formerly 0511, with a novel procedure. The theoretical groundwork has existed for some time, but for a litany of reasons, the complexity of the process, the technical skill required, the systemic risks, not to mention the enormous cost, only directly justify the attempt. At 73, Roger was the youngest overseer when he died. He had two habits that were peculiar for an 05. Only marginally interrelated by the rest of us at the time, and now forbidden. The first was an obstinate refusal to fortify, as we call it, to enhance his longevity with the supplements available to those of our station. The second was a penchant for taking his holidays unannounced and in utter solitude. When the stroke ended him 18 years ago, he was perched on a rocky promontory above the marine iguana nesting grounds on an Hispaniola island. It took 14 years to find his remains. We could not have gone on looking for so long, but for two reasons. He kept on his person a certain key, of which I shall not say more, except that it could not be allowed to stay lost, and that he held in his brain a secret word without which we could not replace him. The alternating Galapagos rain and bright sun and perhaps hawks had reduced him to a moldering ruin of brown fragments and only the stubbornest sinew. The recovering crew used brooms and bags to collect as much of him as remained. The artifact was retrieved to our relief, but we were still faced with the daunting task of extracting his shibboleth. So, with so little original material to work with, none of the time-tested methods of recovery were feasible. It distresses me to say so, but it is unlikely that any records of our methodology will survive the impending purge. Suffice to say that having gathered this diaspora, we set out to reconstruct a quantum approximation of him, physically, chemically, electrically, with sufficient accuracy that his heart would resume its beat, his synapses would fire, and his mouth would move, if briefly. I couldn't make the clip. Boo. Boo, Twitch app. Seriously, the Twitch app just gets worse and worse. As we required but one iota of information from him, we hoped at best that he would survive long enough to provide it, and then simply expire again. However, as is so often the case, We outdid ourselves. All the king's horses and all the king's men could indeed put him back together again. Roger was perfectly reanimated. He emerged from his cocoon looking a bit younger and healthier than my last memories of him. He sobbed uncontrollably for some time, unresponsive to any stimulus. Yet after half an hour, he relaxed. His expression turned to utter serenity, and he spoke two unintelligible but clearly joyous words. He was swiftly interrogated, but he responded to her questioning with candor, enthusiasm, and an unmistakable relief. We kept him under quarantine in a containment unit for 30 days. He offered no objection and cooperated completely. He behaved as any of us might under the circumstances, and in the end, after some light debate, we unanimously restored him to office. We were the ones who'd remade him after all, and wouldn't each of us expect the same? He rewarded our hubris by resuming his duties with an inspired vigor, consistently displaying deeper insight and wisdom than ever before. In particular, we welcomed some of the changes to his habits. As soon as the rest of us allowed it, he began regular fortification treatments for the first time. He appointed a sensible entourage of medical staff and bodyguards that were never far from his person. Previously, empathy for this fellow man had never been his strong suit, yet suddenly he displayed a renewed interest in the safety of our containment protocols, the healthcare benefits of Foundation employees, and a profound distaste for the sacrifice of D-Class. Under the circumstances, none of this struck us as particularly alarming behavior. But he should have. He had concealed the crux of it from us all. At first, naturally, in our initial interrogation, we'd ask him if he had any experience or memory of the afterlife. He claimed to recall nothing exactly, as everyone does, and defeated our polygraphs completely. Did I do the drinking sounds well? He approached me first about 2 months ago. He asked if in his absence we'd obtain any pieces, which I shouldn't have to point out is another term of art, capable of sustaining life indefinitely. While breathtaking longevity is now within our power, it may surprise you to learn that immortality is not, and our best theoreticians have recently posited that it will never be attainable. The resurrections we can accomplish, even his, cannot be repeated more than once or twice. Sapient life is necessarily intertwined with quantum uncertainty. Localize a particle with perfect precision and it attains infinitely uncertain momentum, lost in an instant. Just so, the longer and the more tightly a conscious is bound to a specific vessel, the more likely it will scatter irretrievably on its own. Regardless of science, magic, or razzle-dazzle, you, your children, and your great-great-great-grandchildren will one day most assuredly die and stay dead. His disappointment at this theorem was palpable, and I experienced a moment of discomfort at his reaction. But a week later, 052 received word of a severe breach of protocol. Roger, or rather 0511, had initiated direct contact with an APE in containment. For you L3s, APE skips are apex-tier pluripotent entities. I imagine you can work out the euphemism. We kept our initial investigation off the books. He'd been clever in covering his tracks. There was no breach alarm, no record of the encounter in any log. But one of the skip's guards failed a random amnestic test to his dismay, and that was trail enough on which set our bloodhounds. We couldn't prove it, but we imagine he risked exposure of the skip to offer some kind of deal. This could not stand. As two of his oldest comrades, today 0502 and I confronted him privately, but he caught us off guard, for he confessed everything and begged us for help. I surreptitiously recorded his pleas as a precaution. It is easiest if I simply replay it for you. Device clicks. I dare not speak of this at first. You'd never have let me out of containment. The truth is I was aware of it all. I suppose there was a sweet oblivion, like a deep sleep, at first, but in retrospect, I think it was no more than a day. Slowly but unmistakably, I reoccupied my corpse with dreamlike consciousness. Numb for the first merciful hours, blind, deaf, and immobile. But then I seemed to reconnect to every nerve and became aware of every sensation. More so than I was ever in life. I perceived myself trapped within an immovable object, and the intensity of the struggle amplified. Subtle, then acute, then racking. I cannot describe it completely, but imagine holding your breath, beyond urge, beyond pain, beyond desperation. Head throbbing and eyes bulging, a dream of suffocation without end. Mitsu, can you share me your playlist after the stream? Will do! My skin blistered and split in the sunlight. Biting insects descended rapidly. I felt eggs hatch, larvae crawl, gases build and burst within me. Individual cells rupturing, intestinal fluids souring and blackening. Somehow, my capacity to experience and store these sensations grew, even as I was keenly aware of my cerebellum being scattered and devoured. My perception expanded into the gizzards of birds and the depths of fire ants then. I was aware of every fingernail and strand of hair that pulled away in the wind, and my sensation clung to them as they settled in the ocean and dissolved in the maws of a trillium diatoms. I don't understand it. The more bits of me there were, the larger my capacity for the perception of pain. As I decayed into pieces smaller than living nerves could possibly distinguish, the character of the discomfort changed. From burning and aching and breaking I might relate to you in human terms, to something worse that I cannot fully articulate. A terrible, maddening stretching of every part of myself from every other part. Humans often numb to chronic pains in life, do they not? Yet every year, every month, every second that passed, I saw it only intensified over time. In my previous life, I ruminated on heaven and hell, and the likelihood of my experiencing one. The other, or to surround the other, or something in between. As terrible as I imagined the torpor of heaven, or the torments of hell to be, this was entirely different from either. In hell, at least, there would surely be a tormentor, some memory of my deeds, some sense of justice. Even my soul rejected its logic. I can imagine some comfort in hell for a mind such as mine. I do not think this is a punishment. I do not think it is caused. I deeply suspect it is simply our condition, our nature to go on this way. You see? In all that time, I was certainly, absolutely, totally alone. And before long, all memory of life had shriveled to a cinder, lost beneath my interminable anguish. Alive again, I suspect I cannot quite recall the worst of it, as if my living brain is too small for the experience. Can you read it? Tell me some word. Yes, of course. Thanks for telling me. I need to work on my reading speed. In all that time, I was certainly, absolutely, totally alone. And before long, all memory of life had shriveled to a cinder, lost beneath my interminable anguish. Alive again? I suspect I cannot quite recall the worst of it, as if my living brain is too small for the experience. As overseers, we witness, inflict, or endure great suffering. Yet, what awaits us is worse. The way an earache is worse than a bee sting. The way frostbite is worse than a burn. I was dead for 18 years, and my misery eludes description. Dare we try to fathom the collective agony of the legions of ancient dead? Quantity-wise, it makes me better this way. Yeah, just when I get too much into it, I start to speed up because, you know, ADHD, I just like start reading really fast and my mouth wants to follow up my brain. Cause like this is not like funny. Like this is like in the funny SCPs, but this is like... This is deep. This is good. Believe this, I will not return to that execrable existence. Not 100 years from now, not even. Yes, I approached Ahriam for help. I am sure he could extend a soul, if he wished. I offered him great concessions from the Foundation, even, perhaps, release. But he laughed and refused. Yet I can think of others willing to trade on a smaller scale, though the price may be nearly as... no, nothing compares. Anything is better, so long as it is forever. Do you believe me? Will you join me and together escape this fate? Please. Device clicks. We were dumbfounded and suddenly sympathetic, and an instant later, fearful. I can't remember the last time I felt my heart race so. But we do not operate in a vacuum. A revelation of this magnitude must be brought before the Council for consideration. He was allowed to admit his deception before the assembled Council, but he was clearly desperate for action as well. We prevailed upon him to call an immediate emergency session in teleconference. I know anything less would constitute treachery. Still, as the three of us hurried to conference room Alpha, I suddenly found myself harboring subtle thoughts of... And so he gave his testimony again, nearly as frank and purpley prosaic as before. But the debate that unfolded in the wake of it, I've never witnessed anything like it. There were mostly skeptical voices at first, calm, concerned, and thoughtful. However, 058, whose face had grown increasingly pale as she listened to him, was suddenly a passionate advocate for action. We must declare human death a Cater SCP, she demanded, and contain it at any cost. The absurdity garnered an uproar, of course, but Roger had himself a sure ally now, and this spurred him on, shouting over the others to add even darker details of the intensity of this perennial excruciation. Imagery I cannot repeat, sensation I must not contemplate. I'm feeling lightheaded. 052, always a moderate influence, suggested we recess and collect ourselves. But then 053 suddenly moved that we order the immediate systematic termination of dangerous skips to better protect ourselves and others. 056 seconded, but before it could be put to a vote, 13 suddenly clutched his chest in paroxysmal panic and was being evaluated by his medical technician when his feed absolutely cut out. As the fracas came to a boil, it was 10, I think, who was next convinced. Oh, is the belief the key? It doesn't matter. At any rate, Ten started pounding his shoe on the table and hollering we must dig a channel from the Austrian Spring to the Mediterranean Sea to fortify all of mankind. That was enough. Suddenly, 051 muted us all and stood, red-faced and shaking. Regardless of the truth of 0511's experience, it is plain that we have lost all reason. There is only one possible explanation for this. Therefore, I am declaring Emergency Protocol 17. Remain where you are. We shall all be administered Class A amnestic. Except you, Raja. We made a grave error releasing you from containment, and it will be corrected. She pointed at her administrative assistant to act, but before he could lock down the conference room from which 211 and I were dialed in, Roger had already bolted out the door. I was after him in an instant, and nearly crushed by the bulkhead as it slammed into place. I only wanted to stop him, I think, and now I was outside the safe room too, but he was nearly out of sight. Superlative idiot, they couldn't see me, couldn't hear me, they couldn't know that I wanted back in, how badly I wanted to breathe the red gas that was surely already steaming into the room on the other side. One instant of poor judgment and my fate was sealed. And now that I know what's in store, what was left to do? I ran to the help desk. Help enough, eh? For this, my final act. I love the Foundation, as I would have loved a daughter. I do this for the security and protection of mankind, and so I beg you, this gnosis must not be erased, forgotten. That is not containment, that is madness. Bring us back. Get us out. I'm so frightened. What's wrong with me? Door bursting open, automatic gunfire from 3 distinct sources. Clear, clear, clear. God damn this job. Back that Oscar quickly, Sergeant. We still have one to go. Side breach alarm sound. What now? Specialist, talk to me. Sir, I'm getting a report of a Keter breach in the AR-11 compound. Ah, hell. 2 rogue Oscars, and on top of it now the old man is on the loose? This is a shit sandwich, sir. Contain that chatter, Sergeant. Stand by, sir. Negative on 106 escaping, sir. I'm getting details. Say again, please. It's on the other way around. The other Oscar went in, sir. He went in. The hell he did. They have visual confirmation, sir. Procedures dictate we treat him as KIA specialist. I know. Let's finish here then. Sir, this Oscar had recording equipment here. It's still running. For the love of... sir, shut it down, sir. Shut it down. Specialist, get an audio hazard team down here on the Woo, that was spicy. That was spicy. Alright, now... Sadly, we won't have the time for 8817. But I'll do... 3008. Oh, wait, this one? Oh yeah, there's a transcription. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, oh, it's not so bad until I opened this one. Alright. 3008. Class Euclid, but before that I should take a sip. There we go. The retail park containing 3008, thanks for the headband, has been purchased by the Foundation and converted into site redacted. All public roads leading to or passing by site redacted have been redirected. The entrance to 3008 is to be monitored at all times, and no one is to enter it outside of testing, as permitted by the senior researcher. Human exiting 308 are to be detained and then debriefed prior to the administration of amnestics. Dependent upon the duration of their stay in it, a cover story may be needed to be generated prior to their release. Other entities exiting SCP-3008 are to be terminated. Description: SCP-3008 is a large retail unit previously owned by and branded as IKEA, a popular furniture retail chain. A person entering 3008 through the main entrance and then passing out the side of the doors will find themselves translocated to 3008-1. This displacement will typically go unnoticed, as no change will occur from the perspective of the victim. They will generally not become aware until they try to return to the entrance. SCP-3008-1 is a space resembling the inside of an IKEA furniture store, extending far beyond the limits of what could physically be contained within the dimensions of the retail unit. Current measurements indicate an area of at least 10 kilometers square, with no visible external terminators detected in any direction. A conclusive results from the use of laser rangefinders has led to the speculation that the space may be infinite. 3008-1 is inhabited by an unknown number of civilians trapped within prior to containment. Gathered data suggests they have formed a rudimentary civilization within it, including the construction of settlements and fortifications for the purpose of defending against SCP-3008-2. 3008-2 are humanoid entities that exist within 008-1. While superficially resembling humans, they possess exaggerated and inconsistent bodily proportions, often described as being too short or too tall. Hey, no body shaming in here. They possess no facial feature, and in all observed cases wear a yellow shirt and blue trouser, consistent with the IKEA employee uniform. Okay, so they're just jaded employees. They're just jaded employees. This is my call. SCP-3008-1 has a rudimentary day-night cycle, determined by the overhead lighting within the space, activating and deactivating at times consistent with the opening and closing times of the original retail store. During the night instances of SCP-3008-2 will become violent towards all other life forms within 008-1. During these bouts of violence, they have been heard to vocalize phrases in English that are typically variants of "The store is now closed, please exit the building." Once a day begins, -2 instances immediately become passive and begin moving through -1, seemingly at random. They are unresponsive to questioning or other verbal cues in this state, though will react violently if attacked. Okay, they really feel just like an employee who wants people to get out of their freaking store. Let's normalize employees shouting at customers that don't want to leave. -1 is known to have one or more exits located within, though these exits do not appear to have a fixed position, making it difficult to leave -1 once inside. Using any other door besides the main entrance to enter the structure or breaking through the walls of the retail unit leads to the non-anomalous interior of the original store. Since containment began, 14 individuals have managed to escape 3008. Following extensive debriefing, all individuals have been administered amnestics, and released. Incident at -1. At 0027 on redacted 2000 and redacted, a human male exited 3008, followed 10 seconds later by an instance of -2. -2 caught and killed the man before itself being terminated by armed response personnel. This incident represents the only time an instance of -2 has been seen exiting 3008. A full autopsy on the corpse was performed. See the autopsy log for more details, don't mind if I do. The man was carrying IKEA branded journal, seeming to document his time in -1. Transcribed below verbatim. So, I'm writing this to document what I can only assume is my sudden descent into insanity. I can't possibly be that bad a navigator. And yet, as I write this, I've been trapped in IKEA for 2 days. I haven't seen another person in the entire time I've been here. I thought it was a prank at first. Turn the place into a maze, get all the people out, and see how long it takes me to get lost. Then everything was a good old laugh. I realized that wasn't the case when I tried to backtrack. Everything had changed. So I ended up lost. Instead of the exit, it was just row after row of bookcases. So I'm trapped in IKEA. This sounds like the setup for a bad joke. The lights went out at 10 p.m. Nearly gave me a fucking heart attack. That's a loud electrical thunk sound and then pitch blackness. Place is full of beds though, and my phone has a torch on it, but no damn signal. So I found a bed and went to sleep. Spent most of the next day trying to find my way out, with no luck. I did find a restaurant serving those meatballs though, so at least I don't starve. That's probably the punchline to that joke. Anyway, they were still warm and fresh, but I haven't seen anyone around who could have cooked them. Made my way back to the beds before the lights cut out again, since it's too dark to search with them off. It's 9:10 a.m. now. The lights came back on a little while ago. I'm sure I've searched the entire area around here. I came in now and the exit obviously isn't here. So I'm going to pick a direction and hope for the best. Day 3 of my magical IKEA mystery adventure. If I wasn't sure that there was something seriously weird about this place before, I am now. Walk for 3 hours in a more or less straight line. Insert IKEA joke here. Before I came across a ladder next to one of those huge stock shelves they have here. Climbed up to get my bearings, and it looks like this place just stretches on forever. Like that scene from The Lion King, except instead of trees and grass, it's all shelves and tables and crap. I did not see a person moving. I did see a person moving not too far away though, so I headed over. I thought it was a staff member at first. It was wearing the uniform. And hell, maybe it was. Maybe freakish 7 feet tall monsters with long arms, short legs, and no faces, or just the kind of things they want working at Super IKEA. Okay. The no facial features, I get it now. I thought it just like had no expression. No, they just have like no face. Got it. Okay, that's a little bit more monstrous. Damn thing completely ignored me though. And with no eyes or ears, I can't even be sure it knew I was here. Though, thought about shoving it or something to get its attention, but its hands were big enough to crush a watermelon, so I decided against it. It just kept moving along and eventually I lost sight of it, so I decided to carry on the way I was going. Anyway, no comfy bed for me tonight. Looks like I've entered the improbably hard and pointy table section of the store. Guess I'll have to make do with some bunched up tablecloths. Phone battery died during the day too. Didn't work anyway, but I feel like I've just lost some vital lifeline. You ever see one of those cartoons where they're going through doors in a hallway and you just pop out another door in the same hallway? That's how I feel right now. I've seen nothing but the same identical bookshelf for 2 days now. Just row after row after row of them. I mean, come on, I love books as much as the next guy, but this is excessive. I'm obviously still moving forwards though. I can see the signs hanging overhead passing by. Too bad none of them says exit. Not sure who I was addressing that question to. Let's just say it was practice for the autobiography. I'm going to write when I get out of here. I'll call it my perfectly normal trip to a regular old IKEA. If I ever get out, which is scratched out. Finally found some other people. Yeah, turns out I'm not the only poor bastard trapped in here. Lucky for me, I guess. My 6th night here. 2 of those stab things came at me in the dark. Different from the first one I saw, but still messed up. Heard them coming. They were saying that the store was closed and I had to leave the building. All nice and polite like. I'm not sure which part of that was weirder. That they don't have mouths, or that they were apparently trying to kill me while they were saying it. Came at me like rabid dogs. So I legged it, sprinting through IKEA in the dark like a fucking madman. I saw it when I cleared another stand of those giant stock shelves, all lit up with torches and floodlights. They've built a whole town in there. Got a massive wall built out of shelves and beds and tables and whatever else. I swear to God, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I guess they saw me coming, or maybe they heard my girlish manly bellows of fear, because they had a gate open and 2 people were there waving me in. Heard the staff thing slam into the gate behind me after it closed, still politely informing us that the store was now closed. They wandered off eventually though. They called the town Exchange because that's what's on the sign hanging from the ceiling directly above it. Exchange and returns, all lit up against the night, using lights they found and plugged up into power lines. And there are beds and food and people. Over 50 wonderful people with regular-sized limbs and a full set of facial features. It is now my 7th night here, and the first one not spent in darkness. A full week living in IKEA. There's probably a TV show of that somewhere. I mean, if Mr. Beast hasn't done it yet, get him on the fucking line. Now that I'm around other people, I'm starting to feel more normal. Maybe normal isn't the word, but after a week with only the sound of my own footsteps for company, I was becoming increasingly sure that I'd just gone nuts. That I was tied up in some padded room somewhere banging my head against the wall, but no, I feel quite sane now, thank you very much. Apparently there are other towns out there. Some with more people, some with less. I found that fairly mind-boggling. How can that many people go missing with no one noticing? Surely someone would have noticed that people who goes to IKEA seems to fucking vanish. Or maybe it's not everyone. Maybe we're just the lucky ones. The people here just call those staff monsters things the staff. Apparently, they are fine during the day, minding their own business, walking the aisles. As soon as the lights go out though, they go fucking bonkers. So during the day, people go out to find food, water, and whatever else they need. Apparently, there are restaurants and shops around that randomly get restocked. No one knows how. Maybe the staff do it. Apparently, they aren't very good at their jobs though, because the restocking sometimes takes a while. which means the food needs to be rationed. Maybe if they weren't so busy chasing people around in the dark, they'd get more done. Anyway, when night comes, the staff goes nuts, and everyone holds up inside the walls. Apparently, it's the same everywhere in this place, whatever this place is. The Eureka from whence all other IKEA sprang. Or maybe we're all still just in regular IKEA, and this is all some fever dream brought on by mind-numbing boredom. Who knows? Been there 10 days now. Most of the people I asked said they stopped keeping track a long time ago. And one guy, Chris, said he'd been here for years. Years! Illegible scribbles. Apparently, there are rumors of people who do manage to get out, and people who see the exit, only to have it vanish before their very eyes. I get the feeling not everyone believes that, but I do. Explains how we got stuck in here in the first place. Sort of. And I mean, come on. Staff monsters, row after endless row of high-quality Swedish furniture. I don't know why they would find a disappearing door so hard to believe in. Anyway, I went out scavenging for food at a nearby shop with Sandra and Jerry today. Once you learn the landmarks of this place, it's not so hard to navigate. The overhead signs help out a lot, but there are others not too far in the distance. A huge section of those giant stock shelves has collapsed against each other. And way off in the east, well, we are sure it's east anyway. Apparently, IKEA doesn't sell compasses. It's some kind of tower that looks like it's made of wood, reaches all the way to the ceiling. Maybe they were trying to break out through the roof? Lights up at night, so there must be people there, but it's apparently a few days walk, which means it must be miles away. So no one here really knows for sure. Apparently, I got incredibly lucky sleeping out in the open for a week without getting ripped to bits by the staff. That's me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. And I am lucky to be seeing you, Friska Fist. Hi! I'm doing well, and I hope you are too. We are reading some SCP about a never-ending gigantic IKEA. We found some food in the shop. Yes, the staff restocked it during the night, which was nice of them. There was a telephone on the wall, so I figured I'd try it out. There was a voice on the other hand, but they were just talking nonsense. Random words strung together with no real meaning. You ever see a video of someone with aphasia? Kind of sounded like that. Didn't answer me when I spoke to them anyway. Sandra says all the phones here are the same. Whoops, asking the journal questions again. That sounds like an interesting story. Yeah, it really is. I was thinking last night, the ceiling on this place is pretty high, and as far as anyone can tell, it goes on forever. Shouldn't there be some kind of weather in here? I'm sure I read about some NASA building that was so big it had its own weather patterns with clouds and stuff. This place is definitely bigger than that, but now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I've never felt so much as a temperature change in here. I'll add it to the grand list of weird bullshit. I may or may not have found you on a very specific site some time ago. Yeah, your name rings a bell, so I might have seen a comment of yours on that platform, but you're not the only one. A lot of people know me from the hub and then discover me here. But hey, welcome here. The staff attacked the exchange last night. Must have been 20 or 30 of them, all just asking us to leave the store, calm as you like, while trying to smash the walls down with their bare hands. Apparently this happens pretty regularly, so everyone is prepared for it. Knives from the restaurants, lawnmower blades made into hatchets, a fire axe. One guy was seen even made a functional crossbow. Anyway, the walls have holes in them, which I hadn't noticed before. Specifically, so we can stab out at the staff when they attack. Took a couple of them down myself. They don't seem to bleed, which is weird, but they go down as easy as a regular person once you start sticking holes in them. I hope to be a wonderful fan for you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I stream usually every Thursday and Sunday, so I'm pretty regular here. I'm more regular to my streaming than my videos. I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, I think I have a Lord Kuro, if you're still there, I think I have a video that's set up to appear today, right? Anyway, back to the story. Soon-ish. I mean, sure, soon-ish is an answer. Anyway, we had to hold the bodies away in the morning. Apparently, the dead ones will attract more during the night, so we had to get them away from exchange. We have a couple of those trolley things they use to move big boxes around, so we loaded them up and took them over to pick up. Apparently, people just name everything in here up to whatever sign is hanging overhead. Oh, there's no cow. There's no cow. I'm sorry. Must be broken because I'm in another setup. Pickup was grisly. There were hundreds, maybe thousands of dead stuff all piled up. There was no smell, which was a blessing. Apparently, in addition to not bleeding, those things don't rot either. My curiosity got the better of me while we were unloading them, so I took a look at one of the more cut-up ones. They're just skin, or something that looks like skin, all the way through. No muscle, no bone, no organs? Are they even alive in the first place? They certainly seem like they have bones when they're moving around, pounding the walls, and I'm sure I felt more resistant than just skin when the knife went in during the night. Maybe something happens to them when they die? What Rip does, it's supposed to yeet a tombstone at me, but I'm not sure if it even works. Let me try it out before you lose your points on it. Oh, a raid! Hi! Hey! Alright, does this work? It does! Thank you so much for the raid! Hi, Why? Why do I have a mug? What's even written on the mug? I'm not stupid, I'm a VTuber. Why is this in my hand? I think that's what happened with the cow. And thank you for the shout out. Alright, back to the story. Oh yeah, for those who just got here, we are reading a story about a liminal IKEA that goes forever, basically. Something occurred to me after the staff attack the other night. Every time you see a situation like this on TV or in a film, like it's the end of the world and everyone is trapped on an island or whatever, once groups like ours start to form, people always seem to turn on each other. Yes, Kuro has indeed turned into a mug. It happens. Also, I have a of hair stuck into my titties and I can't seem to get it out. So, I guess I shall deal. Hey? I'll deal with the booby hair. Perfect thing to listen to while I pass out. Hey. And we seem to turn on each other. Fighting for food or dominance or whatever. That hasn't happened here. Apparently people from other towns come by from time to time just to check in or occasionally to trade if they're short on something. But everything is always cordial. Friendly even. Maybe it's the heat, the threat of the staff, or perhaps the constant restocking of supplies of the shop means there's nothing much to fight over. Maybe people are just better than they are generally given credit for. That's a nice thought. I think I'll go with that one. A dozen people showed up at the gates this afternoon from a town called Trolleys. Apparently the staff broke through the walls and tore the town apart during the night. These 12 are the only survivors out of over 100. We let them in, obviously. One more point in the human decency, Colin. Later I asked if anyone knew how many of these towns were out there. Between us and the new folks, we managed to come up with over 20 names. 20 towns filled with people, and who knows how many beyond that. The motto for this place should be, how is that even possible? Surely someone somewhere must be looking for the thousands of people that must be here. I absolutely love your voice. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've been here for a little over 2 months now. Not that much changes, as it turns out. A couple of new people showed up, same story as the rest of us. Nice little trip to IKEA, and suddenly they're trapped in Billy's bookcase house of faceless weirdo. The staff attack the exchange once or twice a week. We kill them and hold their bodies up. Sometimes they hurt some of us first. They killed a guy called Jared a couple weeks back. It was awful, frankly. Turns out regular humans still bleed in here, even if the staff don't. We tried our best, but none of us are doctors. Jared was a good guy. He deserved better. We all do. It occurred to me a couple of days after that. None of us were really looking for a way out there. I don't even know where I'd start. One of those quadcopter things with a camera attached buzzed past exchange today. I thought it meant that someone was finally looking for us. That help was on the way. Apparently, it's not the first time this happens, though. Same thing happened a few months ago and everyone is still here. No idea if it saw us. It didn't stop if it did. Just kept flying until we could no longer see it. Oh hey, my hair is out of my boob. I'm gonna take a sip. Based on recovery time of the journal, this entry appears to line up approximately with our first successful test pilot in a drone inside 3008-1. Analysis of footage shows a walled settlement under a sign labeled Exchange and Returns. Attempts to relocate the settlement failed. Origins of previously sighted drone is unknown. Interesting. I started talking to people about the stuff they missed from home during dinner today. Probably not the best idea I've ever had. Everyone seemed pretty down after. A bunch of people here have families, husbands and wives, kids, dogs. Frankly, apparently has a pet llama. I'm not sure I buy that. But apparently, some of the people here have some seriously odd gaps in their knowledge. 3 of them have never heard of the International Space Station. 2 of them seem to think blank blank was a prime minister, and one of them had apparently never heard of the Statue of Liberty. I believe them too. They seem just as confused as the rest of us. The more I thought about it though, the more it started to explain a few things. What if the reason no one is looking for all us missing people is because we haven't all come from the same place? This is going to sound weird, maybe that should be the motto for this place. But what if all the people here have come from different dimensions, realities, whatever you call it? I've seen enough TV shows to know the drill. Sarah comes from a place where there is no Statue of Liberty. They didn't launch a space station from where Wasim is from. If everyone here came from different places, even from ones that seem identical, there would be no huge missing persons panic, no mass search. We'd just be a blip, a single missing person in a world of non-stop news. Well, that was a fun train of thought. I just realized that yesterday was the 6-month anniversary of my arrival here. I wonder if IKEA sells party hats. The routine around here has remained more or less the same. More new folks show up, one every couple of weeks or so. Food supplies go up and down, but we've never actually had a major shortage. Occasionally, we get a visitor from one of the nearby towns. Usually checkouts are aisle 630. We check in with each other from time to time, occasionally trade supplies if someone gets particularly low on something. It's comforting in a way, a reminder that we aren't alone in here. Some small glimmer of civilization. Sometimes they bring medical supplies. Apparently there's a pharmacy a few towns down from checkouts that gets restocked every now and then, so they share out what they can. I've never heard of an IKEA with a pharmacy before, but at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if someone stumbled on an IKEA organ harvesting lab. Would certainly explain the staff. Speaking of our faceless jailers, their attacks have been getting worse lately. 3 or 4 times a week now, with twice as many staff as there used to be. No idea where they all come from or why the attacks have increased. We tried following one of them during the day a few weeks ago, me and Sarah. Wanted to see if they lead back to a staff room or something. They didn't seem to go anywhere though, just randomly walked through the aisles. We had to turn back before we found anything. We've been reinforcing the walls, trying to arm ourselves better. Certainly no lack of materials to use. Wasim has been making more crossbows, but it's pretty slow going. Too bad IKEA doesn't sell guns. Note, no new personnel have entered 3008 at site blank in the time span indicated in this entry. The attacks are getting bad now. Almost every night, and with so many staff that the bodies almost pile high enough for others to climb the walls. I think we're in trouble. I think exchange is done. We got hit pretty bad last night. Not many casualties, but the wall is wrecked. We finally figured out why the attacks have been escalating too. A box of supplies had a chunk of one of the staff in there. No idea how it happened, but apparently a piece of one will draw them as well as a full body. Too late now in any case. There's too many bodies for us to haul away and still have time to fix the wall before night. Candace has called a meeting. I suspect there will be talk of abandoning exchange, maybe try and get shelter at checkouts or something. It's already getting late though. I don't think we'll have time to make it. Maybe some of us will. I was fine for that the first week out in the dark. But then, how often can I keep getting lucky? I'm only writing this for a sense of closure, I guess. For me, or for anyone who finds this. If this is the final entry here, I hope whoever is reading this is doing so from outside of this place. My biggest fear? if I do die tonight, I'll just wake up here again in the morning. Note, this is the last entry. It is assumed that while attempting to reach the checkout settlement, he was separated from the rest of his group by pursuing -02 instance and happened upon an exit. Hooray! Oh my god, that was wild. Thank you, Lesna, for suggesting it. Sadly, it's a little bit late, so I will not have the time to read, which one was it? Let me scroll up. 8817, but I have kept it in, bank. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here, but stay with me for a bit, because we're about to raid someone. Let's give the love back. Who do we got? Who do we got? Well. We got King Kuro playing some Final Fantasy Online. Let's give them... Oh no, we got some... Actually, no, we're gonna go see Miss Coffee. It's been a while since we've seen Miss Coffee. She's doing art, so that's gonna make for a nice, cozy evening, alright? Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day or night or evening, wherever you are. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next stream. Goodbye, my lovelies. Kisses. Bye.